नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुने नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्ते भगवति नैस्तिके मुखं करोति वाचालं भङ्गुं लङ्घयति यत्कृपातं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदेवता परमानन्दमाधव श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरः. Welcome to Bhagavad Rasamalium English lecture. Translation purport given by Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Canto 11, Chapter 2, verse number 21. Navabhavana Mahabhaga Mayo hi Artha Samshina Shramana Vratarashana Atma Vidya Vishardaha Kavir Havir Antarikshaha Prabuddha Pipalayanaha Avirhotrota Drumilas Chamasa Karavajanaha. Translation. The 9 remaining sons of Prashabha were greatly fortunate sages who worked vigorously to spread knowledge of the absolute truth. They wandered about naked and very well versed in spiritual science. Their names were Kavi, Havir, Antariksha, Prabuddha, Vipalayana, Avihotra, Drumila, Chamasa. So, as we saw in our previous verses, Nimi meets the 9 Yogendras, and Nimi was very, very inquisitive, and he was very curious to inquire about the spiritual science. And those days kings were very devoted, and they were very eager and curious to know about the Atma Tattva, the philosophy of Atma, Aham Brahmasmi, and also they were very curious to know about the qualities and the glories of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that was a time, was very glorious time. So we can hardly see any persons discussing about this spiritual science. So people are nowadays in modern world are very busy in their daily activities. So in their daily activities, they are fully loaded and scheduled with so many mundane and material activities. So which hardly gives any sort of spiritual results, or which will not lead to the path of absolute truth. So indeed people are even not aware of their identity, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in Chaitanya Charitamrita, that Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says in Chaitanya Charitamrita, the constitutional position of the living entity is Jivera Swarupa Hai Krishna Re Nityadas. So even these very prime and the center figure of our human life, people doesn't know about that. People are not aware of this. It's very unfortunate situation in the modern society that people even doesn't know their own identity and their constitutional position, and what am I to do after attaining this human life. So most of the people, they doesn't know the aim of human life. They all have the thoughts in their mind that only thing is to have a good education in a very renowned institution, and have a good education and study well, score well, and have a very good job, nice prestigious job, and learn as much as they can by slogging hours together. And ultimately, when they get frustrated and when they get deterioration in their material life, then finally they come to the spiritual life. So then of that deterioration and this frustration in their nature of job and nature of their practical material life, leads to the realization for some people, as Krishna says in Gita, that 4 people will surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it is one who is inquisitive and one who is distressed, artho, jignaso. So most of the people, they will get disgusted in their life. So only then, after realizing that there is no other path and there is no peace of mind in this world, which is fully loaded with miseries and filled with miseries, and only a fraction of second of happiness is existing here. For that fraction of second, we have to sacrifice our valuable human life. So that is why we can take the lesson from the king Nimi, the king of Videha, Nimi. So how intelligent he is, how spiritually inclined, what sort of a spiritual inclination he has, King Nimi. So as soon as he received the Navayogendras, who are sons of Rishabhadev, who is the incarnation of Vasudeva. So all his 100 sons, 9 sons are given in charge of 9 dvipas, and the other 9 people are Navayogendras. Those the names are also given in this. Those 9 Navayogendras' name is Kavi, Havir, Antariksha, Prabuddha, Pipalyana, Avihotra, Drumila, Chamasa, and Karabhajana. So those days kings were very enthusiastic, very energetic, very encouraging, and very pure consciousness mood. As soon as they receive the pure sages, they immediately inquire and discuss about the glories of the Lord and how to attain the path of liberation, and what is the path of liberation. And they will also very curious to know about the creation of spiritual world, creation of material world. So many things are to be known in this, especially in the birth of human life. So people are very unfortunate in this modern society. They don't even bother about that. They don't even worry about that. And ultimately they struggle, and they will be filled with a lot of miseries. And not knowing about all those things, they misuse, or they finally they kick the bucket without anything, and they waste this human life. So there are so many. There are some 9 questions asked by Nimi to Navayogendras, the saintly sons of Rishabhadev. So the first question is, what is the highest good? See, they are asking what is the highest good, means not materially. Spiritually, they are asking what is the highest good. Highest good means the goal of reaching the Supreme Personality of Godhead and attaining the Krishna Prema. So it is the reference is chapter 2, verse number 30 for this. And second is, what are the religious principles? So what are the dharmic path of life? So and what sort of a dharma we have to do? Especially in Kali Yuga, the most wanted dharma, the most mandatory to perform dharma is Kali Yuga dharma is Kale dosha nidhi raja asti eko mahogana kirtanadeva krishnasya mukta sangha parambrajit. So this Kali is filled with full of doshas. So amidst of all these doshas, still there is a very good opportunity to perform Sankirtana Yagna, chanting the holy names of the Lord, without offending anybody without avoiding 10 offenses. That is Shuddhanam. So the third one is in that second religious principles, it is said that Swabhava, Achara, Vakya, Lakshana. These four things are prime factors which is centered around the Dharma. So our nature should be very Brahmanical. It should be we should have the qualities of a Vaishnava, and our behavior should be Achara. So whatever we perform and whatever we practice, whatever we do sadhana, those things should be always practiced, those things should be always in existence, and whatever we do, achar and prachar. So whatever the sadhana we perform, whatever the sadhana we do, so then definitely we can preach others also by distributing scriptural teachings of great acharyas. And the vakya also should be, it's mentioned in Gita that our vakya should be very interesting, it should be very amazing, and whomever we talked with others, the others should also feel I want to spend more time with this particular person because it is very interesting, very amazing, very mysterious, and one must think that, oh, I have never heard all these things. So a devotee should be very calculative, and he should not even utter a single word which is not related to the spiritual science. Those should be the vakya of a sadhana, of a sadhaka or a devotee. So the always Sri Rupa Goswami says, the great acharya of our Sampradaya, Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, he says that whichever is favorable to Krishna consciousness, we should accept it. Whichever is not unfavorable to Krishna consciousness, we should reject it. So whenever the situation or circumstance comes regarding Prajalpa, we should keep mum, we should be quiet, and if any chance of distributing the teachings of Bhagavad Gita spoken by great acharyas like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Sridhar Swami, and Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Goswami, then immediately we should interfere in those matters and try to make them convinced about the religious principles, so that he may become inclined to take the teachings of Gita spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So those vakyas we should use those vakyas, and simultaneously the words we use in our communication, that should not hurt others. Krishna says that in Gita. If it hurts the others in our bad communication, generally they won't stick on to us. Generally they avoid us. That's tactics we should learn always, and it should be natural. It should not be. We should not even boast ourselves, so that the others should not think he's glorifying himself, that he knows everything. He's a great prolific scholar. So he should not have that mentality, or he should not have that understanding. So he should understand that this particular person is very interesting. He's got a lot of information about spiritual science. Really, it's worth and deserve to have association. That vakya should be delivered always, and our symptoms, that is lakshana, should be very, very Vaishnavatic. We should have very good etiquette, like a Bhagavata, like how Bhagavata should have. The Bhagavata will not even speak anything which is not connected to spiritual science or the glories of Krishna. He will not go out of that topic at all. So a Bhagavata is a very great Vaishnava, and Bhagavata will always try to give scriptural understanding to the common man or to the non-devotees. He will try to make them somehow or other we should connect to Krishna conscious activities. That is the Lakshana of a Bhagavata. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Mahaprabhu also says a Vaishnava is a person who makes others to remember Krishna or to take us his association. Should feel that association is very constructive. It's very, what you can say, it's really heart touching. You should really feel that moments are joyful, and she should feel that it is very amazing, splendid, and he should go when he goes home, and he should carry away those points so that he can feel that really I feel very blissful and joy today. I had a very good, nice association, which is very, very enlightening in my life. I never had this sort of a life, sort of this association. So those things should be kept in mind. And the third question here they rise is the king within the Nimi rise to the Navayogendras is, what is the external energy of Vishnu? As we all know, the external energy of the Supreme Lord is the material world, because the separated energy of Vishnu. So when Vishnu wants to create this material world for the persons who had a bad bargaining with Krishna, who had the negativity with Vishnu, and they feel envious after seeing the activities of Vishnu, after seeing the supremacy of Vishnu. They also feel that I also want to be a boss. As Prabhupada's the famous particular word is lording over material nature, Prabhupada says. So that is the question raised by King Nimi, Maharaj Nimi. And the fourth one is how one can become dissociated from this Maya. So that is also very nice question. 317 it is mentioned in this, the answer is, reference is 317, and how we can dissociate with Maya means, so we should go away from Maya means, Krishna says in Gita, for this answer is surrender unto me, then definitely you will be dissociated with Maya. And Krishna also says it is very, very difficult, it is very, very cumbersome to get away from Maya. But Krishna says, if you surrender unto me, definitely you can surpass this ocean of Maya. Maya meta. So that is a very nice verse it is there. Krishna says that. So only when you surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then you can surpass this ocean of Maya. Otherwise, it's very, very difficult because Maya is very attractive, and it can make wonders to make you go away from Krishna. And the fifth question is, what is the true identity of Brahman? So what is the true identity of Brahman is, I am the I am soul, I am not this body, and this body is not permanent, and the soul is permanent, because Krishna beautifully explains in second chapter that na hanyamane sharire. He says that this body is always temporary and the soul is permanent. Na hanyate hanyamane. So this body can be split into so many pieces, but we cannot do any harm to soul, because soul is Satchitananda Vigraha. Why it is Satchitananda Vigraha? Because Krishna, the super soul, is also Satchitananda Vigraha. Sat means eternal, Chit means full of knowledge, Ananda means full of happiness. So this soul also have the same quality because it is part and parcel of the Lord. And the sixth one is, what are the three types of karma? So three types of karma is karma, akarma, vikarma. Karma means whatever activity we do, there is for every action there is a equal and opposite reaction, and it is only for the satisfaction of sense gratification. That is karma. And vikarma is doing activities which are totally opposing the spiritual injunctions, against the spiritual injunctions. And akarma is whatever spiritual injunctions are, whatever the things are mentioned in spiritual injunctions, we follow according to those Vedic injunctions. The seventh one is, what are the various pastimes of various pastimes of the various incarnations of God. So the incarnation of God, because Krishna is the source of all incarnations. From him comes the immediate expansion is Balaram. From Balaram comes Vasudeva, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, Sankarshana, and from them the second expansion comes, the third expansion comes is Mahavishnu, and Mahavishnu, who is totally in charge of this material world, and he incarnates as Karnodayaksha Vishnu. He expands like Karnodayaksha Vishnu, Kshirodayaksha Vishnu, and the Garbhodayaksha Vishnu, and these Vishnus will maintain this material world. And eighth one is, what is the aim or destination of one who is against Supreme Lord and devoid of bhakti? So Krishna says, Sarvam Mrutyu Arasyaham. So whoever, the person who doesn't have, who is atheist, who doesn't have belief in Krishna, he will definitely he will definitely have the darshan of Krishna at the time of death. Krishna says, if somebody doesn't believe in me, I will come as a mrutyu. I will come you as death personified for those persons. Definitely a non-devotee, in this question, the destination of a non-devotee is definitely he will go to hellish planet, or he will take birth again as different animals or different plants, different trees. So that will be the destination of him. So reference is 5.1. And ninth is, what are the respective colors, forms and names of 4 Yuga avatars. So 4 Yuga avatars is the colors of Supreme Personality of God. It is white, red, blue and golden avatar. In Kali Yuga avatar, Krishna comes as Channa avatar, golden avatar. Channa avatar means hidden avatar, but his color is molten gold. That is why he is called Gauranga. So thank you all. Please like, share and subscribe. And any comments, please pass on. Thank you. Hare Krishna.